I like to rise when the sun she rises, early in the morning. I like to hear them small birds singing, merrily upon their lalem. Wander off for the life of a country boy, and to ramble in the new-mown hay.
Here we are in Vidaråsen, and Vidaråsen is a Camphill community in Norway with 140 people living here from all over the world, families, co-workers and also people with disabilities. We have different workshops here in Vidaråsen, and one of the workshops is the garden. And our garden is around 1.4 hectares, included the greenhouses and the fields outside. This year there was 3 co-workers working on the garden and also 3 villagers. And each year we have a crop rotation with a big variety of veggies, and then we have some green menus in some corners of the fields. We work especially with facelia. And then we grow also a lot of flowers. So we grow a lot of flowers on one side because it's beautiful, and on the other side also to attract the insect life. So we had a lot of butterflies and bumblebees. That our fields are just more alive.
In spring we sow at the harvest mow, and that is how the seasons round they go. But of all the times, if Joes I met, won't be rambling through the new-mown hay.
We try to run the garden in a biodynamic way. That means we make our own compost from the food wastes, and then we have our own menu from the farm here down. And we also try to work with the preparates. So this is still a learning process actually. We actually buy the preparates from outside to do it here. But for example, this year we made a first small step and we tried out to fill our horns with the cow shit from the farm here and pick them down. So let's see what it will be when we pick them out. I think it's really nice that we do it in a biodynamic way, that we really try to work with nature and with the soil, that we try to make the soil as alive as possible and build up humus, that we can grow in the end vital food on our fields, that we support the life forces.
I like to rise when the sun she rises, early in the morning. I like to hear them small birds singing, merrily upon their lalem. Wander off for the life of a country boy, and to ramble in the new-mown hay.
Garden is supposed to be a therapeutic place where we can just experience, and where not just the plants can grow, but where we can also grow. And I think it's also a process that we get connection to our natural sources, that we get an understanding where a single seed comes from and how a single seed develops into a plant, into a vegetable, what we harvest in the end and what we share then in a dinner together. That we have all this process with us and can connect better to our vegetables in the end. Our villagers, they also can have their own small projects if they want. So they go through a learning process where they also can connect to something and also learn to take on responsibilities.
Yes, because 2 years ago I started in having some kind of education here in the garden, where we had 1 year where we had like with the Hadel education where we learned lots of different kinds of things, and he wanted me to have this own project with red currant bushes, which we didn't have, and then for that moment we didn't have it, and so we started to prepare the old herbs field. When I prepared it with the soil and picking up the old turds, and so I ordered bushes and plants and did it all by myself, nearly all by myself. It was some complications, but it was okay. I'm a bit planning to do the corn next year. Me and Judith, we are talking about it. She asked me earlier this season what I want to be a bit more responsible for. And then I said, maybe corn. Yeah, that's a nice thing.
Then one of our highlights is actually the dugnats. Dugnats means that the whole village is involved and work together. It's a Norwegian word. And we have a carrot dugnat and a potato dugnat each year. And these are actually really nice moments, because then there are a lot of people on the fields. We all work together, there's fun, we have some chats between the work, and it's actually a big help also to harvest all what we have to harvest. So I think also that these moments from Dugnat are actually these moments where people are most in relation with our vegetables. And when they eat later on, for example, in the houses, the carrots, I think that they can still remember this day when they was harvesting it. So that there's more connection between the people and the veggies.
So I came to Camphill, Vidaråsen around 3.5 months ago, and I've been working in the garden since, and I have loved the work in the garden with the garden team. I have learned so much in this time here about cultivating vegetables, but what gives me the greatest satisfaction of having a Camphill garden is to experience all these different vegetables growing, all these different wide varieties, witnessing the wildlife, the butterflies, the bees, and then after that to see the vegetables distributed in the community and enjoyed on people's plates. I get a great deal of satisfaction. It's such a wonderful thing to see, and I feel like we have built such a stronger connection to our food. And I find the food here tastes so much better than anything you'll find in a supermarket.
So 2 days in a year where we actually can present what we are doing in the garden and present our products. And this is once the open day in Vidaråsen, where people from outside also comes, and we have a nice vegetable stand where people really enjoy to buy the veggies. And then we have also our harvest festival, where we celebrate with the whole village the end of the season, where we celebrate actually our vegetables. And in the harvest festival we make some games with the village, we eat together our veggies and we sing together. It's just a nice day. And the main thing actually is that we grow our vegetables here in the village for the village. So we don't sell outside so much, so the vegetables are actually for the village, that the village can eat healthy and vital food. And that's actually really beautiful also here, that the village and the garden is really connected in a way. We have a direct contact to each other. So sometimes during the summer we also get feedback from people, what they really like, what they speak about the taste of our veggies, and they give us suggestions. Oh, can you not grow this and this maybe next year? So we can adapt a little bit our garden actually to the village. Or we can see, for example, that's a vegetable people really like to eat, so maybe we can grow next year a little bit more of this, and from other stuff a little bit less. Yeah, and when people come then in summer and tell like that they really like this and this vegetables, then I'm getting also so happy about it. So that's actually also why I'm doing this, because I really like to grow something what others really like. And yeah, this was my first year as a gardener here in Vidaråsen, and I feel also that I got a really big freedom here in Vidaråsen to create the garden. So it means that in winter time is always the time where we can dream about the garden, how the garden will look like in the next season. And it's really a place where we can experience, where we can experiment, and where we can change things. so that we can give something of our personal note into the garden. And this is really, really nice here in Vidaråsen.
In winter when the sky is grey, we engine with it our times away. But in the summer when the sun shines gay, we go rambling through the new mown hay. For
I like to rise when the sun she rises, early in the morning. I like to hear them small birds singing merrily upon their leyland, and to rap for the life of a country boy, and to ramble in the new mown hay.